until now is write, or let's start from the scratch. We know how to create we have an account on AWS. We know how to create a virtual server, and on that virtual server, I know how to create a EC2 instance. Once the EC2 instance is available, I know how to go ahead and log in there and get my work, start my work. So these things I know. Now I have started with ad hoc commands where I was writing the shell script and I was doing my work. But the problem with this set of ad hoc commands is that they are not reusable. So every time I want to write something, I have to go ahead and write it from scratch. So these are not reusable, one problem. And every time I have to start the same thing again and again. So that's the problem. And to solve this problem, I'm going to write these things in a script which will be there with me. I can change it at any point of time. I can edit it. I can do all kind of things, whatever I want to. Okay. So keeping these things in my mind, I will start with shell scripting. Now, what is shell scripting? Same set of commands which we were running some time back, but this time we will put it in form of a script. Script which can be reused, can be changed as per my requirement. So again, to start with a script, first of all, I'll need an instance. If I have an instance, very good, you can continue with that. If you don't have a script, then you need to create one. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my North Virginia region. Here I'm going to launch a EC2 instance because the one which I had, I have deleted it already. So I'll quickly go ahead and create one. 0 is running. So I'll be a bit fast here because I have already done all these things in the previous class. So I'll just go here and say Linux server. I will go with Amazon Linux 64-bit T2 micro. In key pair, I have created one. So I will give it the name as Matillion KeyP. I have used it in the morning. And here in the security group, I'll just use the default security group, whatever is there. That's it, 8 GB of storage, nothing else. You just go down and say, I want to launch this. Now, once it is launched, I'll get an ARN, and along with that ARN, I'll get a IP address. So using this IP address, I can connect. So I'll go to PuTTY. Here, the default user for me is EC2 minus user @ whatever IP address you got. Then go to appearance, change the font size. And at the same time, go to SSH, auth, browse, go ahead and take the KP which you were using and just say, open it up. Now, if everything is okay, it will open it up and simply say accept. It will connect. Give me some minutes. Like Linux command is document. No, Linux commands are done. So whatever pending you think, you let me know the commands. Apart from that, there will be many commands which will come when we start the sessions. So the basic of the Linux is done. Okay. There will be more commands like SSH and all those things that will come when we start actually using it. Okay. So just don't want to give it in a theoretical way, but more of a hands-on way is what I want to give the commands to you. Okay. So the basic commands which I had to cover, I have covered it. Now we are left with some advanced commands, which we will show you when we are using them actually in my script. So this is my machine and let me log into this machine. So sudo su hyphen, we'll just go and say host name, give any name of your choice. Let me say Linux server. And again, I will say sudo su hyphen. So these are the commands which I have run. I am in I have logged in as a root user to my Linux server. Done. Now I told I will write a script. Now the script can be very simple. Okay. So let me start with a simple script. So we can use nano editor or VI editor. So let me say I'm using nano editor. Okay. Nano is editor. Whatever file you want to create, simple.txt or simple.sh. If it is a shell script, you should follow it by sh. go and write whatever you want to. Now, if you want to write something here, the first line should be shebang. Like this, we write bin bash. So this line is known as bin bash, or it is also known as shebang. Then whatever commands you want to write, you can write like a is equal to 5, a is equal to 34, b is equal to 88. Okay. And then I want to add these numbers. So I can simply come here and say University of Dathan. I think you're typing at a wrong place, Neha. So I can go ahead and say sum equals a plus b, and I can say echo and sum. Now this is not correct. Okay, the script is not correct. There are some flaws in this script. I will show you all these things one by one. So I've written a very simple script. I started with a bin bash statement. I have two variables, a and b. I've declared them, and I'm using sum is equal to a plus b, and I'm going with echo, and I'm saying. So I'm saying echo the sum. Okay. Can we use VI? Yeah, you can use VI editor. As I told you, you have many editors. Like in Windows machine, you have Notepad, Notepad++, you have Word, MS Word. There's so many editors. So you can use any editor of your choice. It is up to you. So these is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5 lines of code which I've written, where I have two variables, added them up and just saying echo sum. Now Control X, Y, enter. So I just saved and come out. So how to use nano editor? So you simply say nano, whatever you want to give the name, give it. Just come here, write whatever you want to. While exiting, you say Control plus X. So on your keyboard, say Control and X. So it will ask you, would you like to exit? Then say Y. That is all what has to be done. So Control and X together. Wait, Control X and Y. So it will come out like this. Okay. So now the same thing, you want to use VI editor, VI simple.txt. Here the command was escape I. So I go in insert mode, and then whatever changes you have to do, you change, and then colon escape. Sorry. Now, once your changes are done, escape colon WQ exclamation. Come on. So whatever changes you want to do, you can change any one of them. Okay. Use any editor. There's no problem at all. Now, once this is done, what am I going to do is I'm going ahead with. Now, if I come with ls-l, here you will see that this script does not have execute permission. If you can check, there is no execute permission. So the execute permission can be given like this, chmod. Okay. So this guy already has RW. RW means 4 plus 2, 6. 6 permission is already there. I want to give one more. So I will say 7. The other guy has R-. Read is 4. I want to give execute. So 5. And again 5. So I can give him a permission as 755 and simple.sh. Now if I come here and say simple.sh, I can see the color has changed and it has execute permission. The same thing can also be done like this, chmod, and you say plus X. Plus X means I'm giving execute permission. Okay. Now, if I want to take it back in the sense minus X. So this is also one way of allocating and deallocating the. See, I did a chmod minus X. The moment I do minus X, this X permission or execute permission is taken out. I want to give, so I'll say plus X. And you can see it is there. So either go by this, okay, or go by this, whichever is comfortable. But at the end of the day, there should be execute permission given to this script. Now, once this is done, let's clear out everything. Just ./. This is how you execute the script. dot backslash and the name of the script. So if you see here, sum is equal to, so I was printing, if you just come here and see, I was printing echo sum. Sum only got printed, but I don't want sum. I want the value which is sitting here. So I will go and make changes here. Use Nano editor or whichever editor is comfortable for you. Here, if you want the value of that particular thing, then say $sum. Dollar means give me the value which is inside sum. I don't want that sum to be printed like that only. I want what is the value inside this. So now here, it gave me a plus b. It did not add this number. It did not add this number. It simply gave me a plus b. So I have to make some changes again. Why it did not add? Because there are two mathematical operators. One is equal to, one is plus. So I should put it like this. Then only it will add. Now you will say, what kind of language is this? It is a language which was there in 1980s. So you have to go by that. And here you can see now it is adding 56 and 88. Now you can say that every time it will add the same number. I want different numbers to be added. Yes, you can make the different numbers to be added. So I will pass it as argument. So whatever I pass as $1 will go as first argument and $2 as second argument. So now if I come here, Control X, Y, enter. Now I run the script, but this time it is expecting two arguments, $1 and $2. So $1 give any value, $2 give any value. So basically now this program or this script will dynamically add this and this. 112. We want to add 55 and 65. 120. So it is now dynamic. It can add two numbers. No, Nano is not to be installed. Nano can simply work like that. It's an inbuilt here. So you don't have to install Nano. Nano is inbuilt. Okay. So the most important thing what we saw here is that we came up with a script. I have named it as symbol.sh, where I'm passing two arguments. Now somebody can say, no, I want 3 arguments. Okay, go ahead. C equal to $3. Sum is equal to A plus B plus C. And the output is sum. Control X, Y, enter. Here, when you execute your command, say 3 numbers I want to add. See here, it is adding 3 numbers for you. So basically what it is doing is you can go ahead and do addition. Now you say, no, I want to do subtraction. Again, these small permutation combinations can be easily done. See here. So 55 plus 60 is 120 minus 20 is 100. So like this, you can do permutation combination. Now the important things which I should know here, or I should mention here. First thing, every shell command will start with this. If you don't find this, there is a problem. Many a times it may happen that it may cause a problem. Many a time it may not cause a problem. Okay. So if the command is already there in the buffer memory, it will not cause you a problem. Okay. But you cannot guarantee that wherever you are running this, there will be this command already present in the buffer memory. So there are chances that it may run smoothly. There are chances it may not run smoothly and will give you an error. So it is always safe and recommendable to go ahead and put those bin bash. The second is, why should I give bin bash? What is the purpose of this? So it is just telling the compiler that, see, now whatever lines of code is going to come is going to be of shell script or bash script. First, A, B, C are 3 variables. They are given the values dynamically as $1, $2, $3. And then because I'm doing a summation and equal to at the same time, I'm putting it in 2 braces. because there are two mathematical operations. Okay. And then I say echo $sum. I showed you that if I say only sum, then it will only print the value. It will not, so it will only print sum. It will not print the value which is inside sum, but I want the value. So I told that it is $sum. Okay. Now there are a few questions. Let's take it. Will it show negative values also? Yes, it will show negative values. One very important thing I would want that you should try all these things. But if you want me to try, you can very well go ahead and, so let me go with a bigger number. Let me say 150. See here, it is showing you -30. So this is definitely going to work. So
characters, then it will show as error, right? It won't show. Suppose in the third argument or second argument.
Can you tell again?
Any characters, like suppose.
Okay, if you don't pass a numeric field, let me say I don't pass a numeric field, then it is giving me, it is ignoring this and it is doing the calculation. So if I give
-150, it will give more.
So if I don't give the numeric field, what is it is expecting, then it is ignoring and moving it ahead. Can you show more real-time? Real-time scripts will come. Hold on. We are starting from the scratch, so it will come. You have to wait for that. And these are real-time scripts only. People write these scripts. Okay. So this is the most simple script which you will be dealing with. Yeah.
Because while giving permission, you just mentioned change mode and +X, right?
Yes, +X and change mode.
How will it consider it's for owner?
Okay. So I told you two ways are there. As of now, I see everybody has execute permission, but I told if you are doing something like this, ch mod +X or -X, then it is applicable to everyone, group, user, and the other user. Okay. But let me say I only want to give it to my user. I don't want to give to others. So 7, and for others, I only want to give read permission. Do it like this. Now, if you see here, other users do not have execute permission. So in case you want that only my user or the default owner of the file should have permission, then you can go ahead and give him that kind of permission.
And we can give like not only like execute permission, write permission, read permission also like
this. +W will not work. So if you want to do something like this, you can try, but it will not work. Let me show you that. So if you say +W means I'm giving write permission to everything, but it will not work. See, it does not work like that. Only for +X it works, and that's it. +X and -X.
Oh.
Fine. So this is on the permission side. Now, there are two interview questions which can be asked here. Okay. First is, what is the meaning of this? Why should I write this? Second is, what does this $1, $2, $3 tell? Many a times you will be given a scenario where you will be asked, how many parameters were passed? Can you tell me? So for that, I can go here and say nano. I can write a code called argument.sh. I can start like this. Bin bash. Okay. So I can say echo. Echo is a print command. Total number of arguments passed. It is $hash. So $hash will tell you how many, $hash will tell you how many arguments were passed. Similarly, if you want to say what was the first argument, I think there is some problem here. value of first argument is $1. Value of second argument is $2. And value of, so if you have 5 arguments, you can write 5. Third argument is $3. Okay, let's try to execute this now. One very important thing, whenever you start writing your code, there are high chances that you do a typo. Okay, while typing, you commit a mistake. The best will be take this, go to some online editor, anywhere you can go. Okay, just say shell online editor, shell online syntax checker. Take any syntax checker, start pasting your script. Okay. Now here it says there is some problem. Double quotes prevent blocking of this thing. So there is a problem. Okay. I think the problem is okay. So I had closed the flower bracket much earlier. Now I'm closing it at the right place. Okay. Let's take it. Delete this. $hash, $1, $2, $3. And then the braces or the brackets, the double quotes end at the end. Control X, Y, enter. Now, I've just now created it. Will it have the permission? No. By default, it will not have the permission. So I will have to provide the permission. And this is the permission which I'm going to do. So I'm saying chmod +X to your argument file. Now, can I run it? // I want to run my argument.sh. I'm not giving anything. So it says total number of argument passed is 0, and these are blank. This time I'm going to pass the variables 89, 78. Because you can see here, it says 3 arguments have been passed. These are the values for that. I will go ahead and say so I passed 5 variables. So it says first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So 5. Basically, there are 6 arguments. This is the script name is $0. This is $1, $2, 3, 4, 5. But here it will show 5 because the counting, this is not included. It counts here. So 1, 2, 3 is what it is showing you. So many a times when you go ahead with your script, number of arguments which is passed is very important. Okay. So this particular statement will tell you what is the or how many arguments has been passed. This is going to tell you how many arguments has been passed $hash. So many a times they will tell you that I have a string, I want to reverse that string. So obviously what you have to do is you have to start first, you need to know the length of the string, how big the string is. So there can be a question, you can give it a try. The question can be something like this. I have a string and the value inside the string is I love Unix. Now your work is you have to convert or you have to reverse it. So it will be something like this. XINU space EVOLI. So this is what is expected from you. How to do it. So the first thing is you take the length. Once you know the length, once you know the length, you do iteration or create a loop. Okay, and then one by one from the backside, you take the content and keep pulling the data. Okay, this is how it is done. I will give that as a task. You can find 100 examples on internet, but still I would want you to give it a try where you go ahead and do it by your own knowledge and skill. Syntax error can be there. Don't worry about the syntax error. The concept is important. How to make a approach. The algorithm is important. The way you think is important. Syntax and all is okay. You'll Google it and find the syntax. Now, any programming language you talk about, there are two major things which will happen. One is it will take the input from the user, and the second is looping. Looping in the sense it is a conditional statement. If it rains, I will take an umbrella. If it does not rain, I will take my cricket bat or I will take the ball. So there is a condition. So how to work with a conditional statement in Unix is very important. So whatever I'm teaching you right now, okay, I have already put it here. So
Because the bin bash is all right for like what we need to tell in the
bin bash will tell you this thing, what you say, the script. Okay. So when you start your work, okay, the compiler does not know what code are you going to write. So what I do is I write bin bash. The moment I write bin bash, it will come to know, okay, fine. So the code which is going to come is a shell scripting.
Okay.
Now, similarly, many people say we need Python coding. So Python coding is also similar to this. Some differences will be there, but Python coding is required. Let me say nano. I will say sample or PySample dot py. Here it will not be .sh. Here it will be .py because it's a Python script. Here also you write the script, but here you write it like this. Bin. You don't write bash, you write bin Python. Okay. So this is my first line. In case you want to do anything, let me say A is equal to 67, B is equal to 88. And I will say sum is equal to A plus B. And you don't have echo command here, rather you have print. So comparatively less complicated, but at the end of the day, most of the people are using shell script. So we'll focus more on the shell script. Anyhow, let me save this. Once saved, you don't have to give any execute permission. Simply come here, say Python and the name of the script. And you can see the output. So here, if you see carefully, I have gone ahead and given the first line as bin Python. So it will come to know that the code which is going to come next is a Python script. And then the Python syntax where sum is equal to A plus B and print is the print statement, which is printing the value. If you add both of them, it comes up to 155. So this is how we write a Python script. Okay. So we are saying, or we were saying that there is a high importance that I read variables from the user, and I also go ahead and take some input from user and put it into a loop. Okay, so let's try doing it. Let me clear all these things. I told I have written all these scripts here, like add.sh was just now showed you, argument.sh I showed you. Now let me just go ahead and start with this. There is something called user input.sh. So let me just take the script. Input.sh. Now, if you read through this, you will understand. First, it says bin bash. The line of code which is coming is bin bash. Linux and all are pre-installed. So this is an operating system only which is pre-installed, which is Linux. So all shell commands are pre-installed here. You don't have to install anything. If there is something which is required, then it will throw you an error. So let me say I'm trying to run a Java code, but Java is not installed. It will throw me an error. It will say Java not found. I'll show you that. Give me 1 minute. So here, if you see, the first statement talks about bin bash. The second statement talks about echo. Echo, I know, is a print command. So it says so I can go ahead and say echo, enter username. So username is being asked from me. The system will ask me, give me the username, and it will wait till I provide the username and enter. The moment I provide a username, it will automatically go and sit in this variable and it will be read. Means the value is read by this variable called username. Similarly, I'm asking for password and the value will be read by password and will go inside this variable called password. Then I'm putting a loop condition where I'm saying if, see the condition, there is a semicolon at the end, starts with if, ends with fi. Okay, so in this block, I am saying if there is a condition is $username, means the value of username is admin, and this is AND operator. The value of password is pass123. Then means if the condition is true, then valid credentials. If the condition is not true, invalid credentials. Okay. Now, two important things here. One, we are trying to read something from the user. Second, we are putting it into a loop. So let's execute it. Control X, Y, enter. Now, first thing, ch. Now, what if I don't give permission? Will I be able to execute it? I don't think so. See here, it says permission denied. You don't have permission to go ahead and execute this. So what should I do? I should give permission. How to give permission? chmod +X and then the script. Now, if I just check, it should allow me to execute it. Now, the first thing which it is asking is, give me your username. So let me say my username is Vikas. Give me your password. It is going into the loop and saying invalid credentials. Why? Because as per the condition, it says the username should be admin and the password should be pass123. This time I'll again run it. Admin and the password is pass123. Now it says valid credentials. So both the inputs are required here in this particular script. But if I change the script a bit, so let me say this is AND operator. AND means both the conditions should be true. Now here I'll change it and I'll say either the username is admin or the password is pass123. Either both of them is correct, I'm okay. So now I'll try to run this. Enter username Vikas, password pass123. See here, it is giving me valid credentials because at least password is correct. Though this is not correct, this one is correct. Okay. So you can use AND operator in case you want both of the conditions to be correct. You can use OR operator if you want any one of the condition to be correct. So first, how to read data from user. This is the way. How to put it into a loop. So this is the way. And then based on the condition, then or else will be executed. Both cannot be executed at the same time because looping is conditional. If it rains, I will take an umbrella. If it does not rain, I will take a football and go and play. So that can be the condition. It cannot be that I will play with the umbrella because that's not possible. Something like this is what I'm trying to do here. It can either be a valid credential or an invalid credential, and that will be determined by my operator or this condition. Okay, now, anybody having any questions till this point of time? See, when you just go to this place, copy the script and run it, it will run smooth. That will not be a problem at all. The problem will be if you have to write it by yourself. Write by yourself will give you 10 problems. These problems will only be solved when you start practicing it. If you don't practice it, you simply copy paste, then you will never ever know how to write a script. So even if you know the syntax, I will request you to type this and then go ahead and move. Now, this is as per the syntax, starts with if, ends with fi. Now, this is as per the syntax. If you don't, then it will go into an infinite loop and then you will never be able to work out with this. Okay. Now, similar to this, you have other looping statements also, like while is there. So I have while.sh. Let me take this guy. Let me come here and show you. Nano while.sh. Let me paste the entire content. Here again, bin bash. I'd say there is a variable called valid. It is true. Okay, the value is true. Count is equal to 1. Now it says while $valid means while the condition is true. So it is already true. So it will go inside. Now the moment it go inside, it starts here do and ends here done. So it will go inside the loop, do echo $count. So what's the count? 1. 1 will be printed. If $count is equal to 5, no, it is not equal. Then it will go to outside. It will go outside of the loop. Then fi, so it will go outside. Count plus plus, it will increment it by 1, so it will become 2. Again, it will go echo $2, so 2 will be printed. 2 equal to 5, no. 3 equal to 5, no. 4 equal to 5, no. 5 equal to 5, yes. If the condition is yes, then break in the sense come out of this loop, and this loop will close. Let me run this. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it ran. If I change it, I'll make it as count equal to, let me say 15. So from 1 to 5, it will run. See here. So it is every time going and doing the comparison. It is saying while count is equal to 15. Unless and until the count is equal to 15, it will not go in the then. If it does not go to then, there is no break, means it will not come out of the loop. Every time the counter will be incremented and printed. Incremented, printed. And then when 15 equal to 15, condition becomes true, then it will go here and break and come out of the loop and the program will stop. So this is how while loop works. So I just now showed you for loop. I showed you while loop. Okay. Now, any doubts, any questions till this point of time?
Sir,
yeah.
Can we write that count plus plus in else block? I mean else statement.
Yes, you can do it. You
Okay.
can very well do it.
Yeah, one more question. Except if statement, there is no statement ends with semicolon. Only if statement ends with a semicolon.
You have to check it. It is not that straightforward, okay, but you have to check it. So your requirement is, I will say like this, else, and I will take this and put it here.
Okay, that's okay, sir. I'm asking about if statement ends with a semicolon.
Yes.
So no other statement ends with a semicolon.
Okay, not now. As of now, no, there is no such statement you can say. So this is, yes, you can do that. This is same. Gives you the same output. Okay. Now, there can be a requirement where they will ask you to read from an input file. A file is there. Okay. They will ask you to read from a file. So this is function, wait, function, I'm not interested, add argument function, Linux file, sample script.sh, user input.sh, sample script.sh. Add argument function, Linux commands, Python, sample script, user input.sh, file.sh. Okay. Let me come here, function.sh. Now, what is function.sh? Now, most of the programming language has this property. Now here, I will go ahead and say nano. Okay, now here I'll paste it. Now, what does it mean for me? Now, if you see here, every programming language has something called function. What is a function? Now, function, let me say there is a piece of work which is to be repeatedly done. Okay, when this piece of work is repeatedly done, I want that there should be a piece of code which can be reused. Now, there is a work to calculate the area. So every time this area is needed. So I cannot write this piece of code again and again. So what I have done is this is the function call and this is the function definition. So call underscore area, you have, I'm passing two variables, 10, 20. You can also use dollar symbol. This will go from here to here. 10 will go and sit here. 20 will go and sit here. And then the area will be calculated and put in this field called area. And then the output becomes like this. The area is $area. So let me just execute this. Okay, execute it. And you can see the function is giving you value as 200. If you change the values, I will say 14, and this is, let me say 16. Okay, Control X, Y, enter. Let's execute it. Area is 224. So like this, what happens is I can make use of functions. Okay, functions will help you for reusability again, some piece of code which does not have to be written again and again. So you can use functions. There are many inbuilt functions, like date is an inbuilt function. It will give you the date. So there are some inbuilt functions. There are some functions which I will write. So in today's class, we have started with shell scripts. I will not go by just giving you shell scripts like this. As and when the work starts, there will be many scripts which we will write on need basis. There I will teach you what actually is the real-time usage of these scripts. As of now, the most important thing is that you should know the syntax. Syntax is very important. The way you write the code is important. The way you execute the code is important. Once you know how to write a code, write a script, execute a script, tomorrow, when I have to do some production activity, let me say, I want to deploy a particular server on a particular software on a server, then I can start using these shell scripts. The scripting can be done in Python or it can be done in shell. Shell scripting is comparatively tough when it comes to comparison between shell and Python. you can say that I will do Python scripting, but most of the companies, okay, they are using shell scripting. In fact, I can also extend that 90% of the people are using shell scripting. Okay. Now, because they are using shell scripting, obviously, when you start your work, they will expect you also to know shell scripting. So Python scripting is easy, good to know, but still, most of the crowd is using shell scripting. Okay. So I will also recommend you that if you are given a choice, undoubtedly, your Python scripting will be easier, but still go for Python shell scripting. Okay. Now, on that note, I will close it for today. I will open it for questions now. Please, if you have any questions, go ahead. Anyone having any questions?
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, just wanted to confirm if there is a AND operator, then both the input must be
True.
true. And if or, then anyone will be true.
Yes.
Means anyone. Okay.
Anyone is true. Is okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Because can we use this shell script for Lambda?
This shell script, yes, can be used. Can be used.
Sorry, for switch to bash for Python, I just have to change the bin/Python
Yes.
instead of bash.
Yeah, the first line has to be changed, and after that you can go ahead and do whatever changes. So this is the first line which you need to change. Obviously, the syntax will also vary because echo is a command which is recognized in Unix, but definitely it is not recognized in.
Okay, I'm more familiar with Python, but I try to use bash to get more knowledge.
So bash is all the people who are a bit legacy, who are there into the system for a long time, their first preference will always be Unix. Even I do prefer Unix, but then as and when things are changing, we need to know a bit of Python also.
Thanks.
Guys, great. So on that note, I'll be closing for today, and then we will meet tomorrow, and then we can continue from the place where we left. So from tomorrow onwards, we'll start the full-fledged DevOps world, where we start with Git. We talk about what is Git, why am I using it, why should I do it with Git, on all those things will start from tomorrow. Fine. Is it okay to go with Python? I just not told you. If you want, you can go with Python. Nobody's stopping you, but at the end of the day, what matters is what
Sir,
others
can you hear
are
me?
doing. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, actually, last time, what happened means, whenever I install this account, like I entered my credit card details. So after 12 months, what we should do like
See,
we have to again.
it is free only for 12 months. So in 12 months, after 12 months, they'll start charging you. So it is better that you just drop that account and go ahead and create a new one.
Okay, that was fine. And coming to here on the Linux commands, whenever we are practicing, you said top 100 commands like that. Can we try from our side, like with the new commands like that?
Yeah, you can try any command. See, knowledge, see, I'll make it very clear. Knowledge is not what I am teaching. What I know is just 1% of what is available in the market. So if you are getting an opportunity to learn something extra, do not hesitate. Okay. So it is like I go for a meal. Okay. Let me have my staple food. Let me say rice is my staple food. So at least rice and dal is what I'm looking at. That's my staple food. On top of that, if I get something additional, that is always a good thing, right? So if you give me 3 types of curry and all those things, it is a good thing. But bare minimum, I should have my roti, my rice and dal. So what I'm teaching you is bare minimum that you must know. Anything on top of that, if you are ready to learn, it's very good.
So good. And my final question is like, can we prepare, like, can we have any kind of agenda, like pre-planned agenda, what tomorrow we are going to learn like that? Is
On
there
a
any
daily
kind of
basis,
agenda?
I will tell you what I'm going to teach you tomorrow. Okay, if you just want it, you ping me on the group. I'll let you know what is the at least a week's agenda. I can share it with you. Like in coming 1 week, next 5 days we'll be talking about GitHub. So next 5 days it is GitHub.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
sir.
Very nice. I have knowledge in Git, but few questions working with branches. No worries. See, that's what we are saying. We'll try that we give you as much knowledge as possible. Okay. So there can be scenarios where I would like to know more. So that's okay. We will learn. Okay, fine then. See you then, guys, tomorrow.